Welcome to Banking Frontiers Live. We are in midst of some wonderful conversations in the area of AI-driven experience, and I would like to introduce you to a very interesting guest today. Her name is Seema Gaur, and she is the head of IT at IFCO Tokyo General Insurance. Seema, welcome to Banking Frontiers Live.
Thank you, Babu. It is my privilege to be here.
How has the experience been, especially for the previous few months now? And what are the things that are looking ahead for you, especially in this new economy? Let's more discuss about the new things that are happening.
See, all of us have gone through a tough phase that is known to the industry. The first month, initial April month, was only responding to the situation because it was unprecedented. And then, of course, we were fortunate that we had adopted digitization in the past 2 years to such an extent that our company could function without any hindrance in serving our customers as well as buying business. So, like claim settlement, to our surprise, we did get some few claims in the month of April for motor accidents, which we were of the opinion they shouldn't have happened on the road. But barring the metropolitan cities, far-flung areas in the country, we did get lots of claims. And because of the AI-based quick claim settlement that we had, without engaging any surveyor or without any physical survey of the damaged vehicle, we were able to settle a lot of claims, and that led to an enhanced customer experience and rather customer delight for us. And we did get good feedbacks also from the customers that they were able to get the money in their banks within a few hours. So when it came to health insurance, we had provisions in our mobile applications as well as our portals where people could buy the policies online without any human intervention. And we also have chatbot. Of course, you do have natural language processing there, which is a sort of AI. So we were in a position to help our customers. And of course, the contact centers also helped us. The contact centers were being operated remotely, but they had access to our systems. So even for renewal of policies, our systems helped them to approach the customers over remotely for renewing the policies. So that way our business went on, and we did have some amount of, I should say, gap in terms of meeting the targets, but ultimately it has been a good period. We have been able to meet the targets set for us. I mean, the last year's figures have almost been reached now, and we are now on a growing curve.
Fantastic. So that is good news. At least there are some industries which say that, of course, we are at least at last year's level. So one thing is very clear, that with all this digital coming into picture and AI sitting in the back end, the industry has gone from a contact center mode or a silo channel mode to an engagement hub mode.
Mm-hmm.
And while many people have been looking at technologies like AI and all in a silo methodology, I think many have also integrated things together. How have you put all this AI kind of technologies into real use to do this personalization and also to reduce the kind of frictions amongst the customers in the recent past?
We first deployed AI, apart from the natural language processing in chatbot, we deployed it for damaged vehicles claims assessment. So this was something unique, and I think we were the first in the country to be going for it. And it was introduced in the year 2019 April, went live on production. And what was the aim was that why should we be sending surveyors for claims assessment at places where it is a nominal amount? I mean, it is much lower than the regulatory requirement. So as stipulated by the regulators, beyond a certain amount, you need to engage a surveyor, mandatory. But beyond that is rupees 50,000 per claim. So up to 50,000, the survey could be done without engaging a surveyor. So we thought, why not give this right to the customer himself or herself, who could take the pictures of the damaged vehicle and upload it immediately. Upload it means through a mobile app, through the mobile itself, take the pictures and upload them through the app. And then there's an officer sitting here. Initially, there used to be an officer who would go through the photographs and then estimate the amount, give it to the customer. The customer may or may not agree, and then make the payment to the customer. So when this thought of AI came to our mind, we thought, let us do away with the officer at the back office. Let that officer be only playing the role of just reviewing the result given by the tool. So AI was giving us a list of parts which are to be either repaired or replaced. And apart from it, the data which is there in our historical database, it is able to retrieve and estimate an amount basis the rates which are available to us, whether it is painting cost, labor cost, parts cost, all that gets accumulated and the amount is given as an estimate to the customer on the mobile app itself. So that estimate, we found that with the adoption of AI, the acceptance amongst the customers increased. Earlier, it used to be just 30% customers agreeing to go for, we used to call it quick claim settlement. When it came to the use of AI, we found that the acceptability amongst the customers grew to 75%. There was a claims officer also, he would just review that, okay, things are fine. Because there was certain, suppose there's a new part or for which the model has not been trained, or suppose there's a new model for which we've not trained the model. So that way he would just review and say, okay, and the estimate was going to the mobile app. This way we could reduce the time by few hours. And not only that, it led to acceptance, and we found the number of cases today that we are handling is close to 100 cases per day. 100 cases per day are being processed for personal cars through AI only. So that is what, and they are all quick claims settled, and the money is going to the customer's account immediately.
So turnaround time wise, how has it affected? At least brought down the turnaround time by what percentage, or customer satisfaction or dissatisfaction?
I'll tell you, earlier we did have, there was a tendency, the claims officers would bargain with the customer and the customer would say, no, not this and all that, because it was a telephonic trying to convince the customer. Now when we have this AI tool, of course, there is a tendency for the claim officer to be reviewing it critically, but at the same time, because it gives a logical output, in terms of the part and the cost and the rate and all, of course, to the claim officer at the background. So they don't have to literally bother about it is not a judgment, subjective judgment anymore. Though it's an image, but very less of subjective judgment. And we are retraining the tool. So that is also a beauty, that the tool is being retrained. The feedback mechanism is in place. The feedback, if at all there is a feedback, the claims officer, if he finds there is a deviation in the output of the tool vis-a-vis a human output, the tool is to be, it is sent to the feedback mechanism, it is sent to the model, and then they are able to retrain the model. So with this, we have found that we could reduce it to few hours. Once the customer had accepted the amount estimate, we could make the payment in 20 minutes. But yes, from the time the photographs were uploaded into the system, the documents and photographs were uploaded, and the estimate given, it was just less than an hour time, half an hour or so, from the time the documents are uploaded. But yes, we do find at places where the customer is not in a position to even submit the actual document, because we ask for an RC book, driving license, and so many formalities are there which take time for the customer, and of course giving his banking credentials, because he needs to give his account number, and the bank, we ask for a cancelled check to avoid impersonation. Otherwise, earlier, without the use of AI, it used to take, even the quick settlement used to take 1 or 2 days, and beyond that, the conventional method, all of us know, minimum time is 4 days for a surveyor to give a survey report and giving an approval to the garage or workshop that yes, now you may go ahead. And we could this is also going to do away with the any sort of, if at all it exists, nexus between the workshop, the customer, the surveyor, and all that is done away with, where you feel that okay, I can get it repaired at my ease at a later stage. But if I have to go for a claim, why should I be taking my vehicle to a garage and then calling a surveyor and asking for a payment to be made to the garage and all that? To avoid all those hassles, this is a very convenient way of getting a claim settled in case you are hit on the external parts of the body. Of course, not full damage because there's a limit set by the regulators. So within that limit, yes, we do have some like small repairs. If I have to get it done, I may feel okay, I've got the money from the insurance company and I can get it repaired at ease. And of course, we do have checks for fraud also in it. I do admit, if you see 100 claims being settled on a daily basis through AI only for personal cars, it is a big thing.
That's a very good brief about the areas which you are working on in the area of technology, especially when it comes to giving a better experience to the customer in the claims area. I think I have had a very good enlightening session with you. We talked about everything from AI to RPA to various other wish list of technologies that you are looking into. And I am sure that the kind of projects you are sitting in, there are a lot more rooms for wonderful conversations between us. I look forward to more such enlightening conversations with you in the
My
future.
pleasure.
Thank you very much, Seema, for being a part of this wonderful conversation.